me, Jim, I'd have to say it was the Beatles. The first time, like, I used to hear about them from my cousin. He was a little bit older than us, later. And he used to talk about the Beatles. And so anyways, I was about 8 years old, I guess, when the first time they came on the Ed Sullivan Show. And I remember sitting there on the floor in front of the TV, and I was entranced in them. And I remember my parents and my brother standing in like the doorway between the kitchen and the living room, you know, and they were giggling through the whole thing of the Beatles. And my mother tells me as soon as the song ended, I just swung around and I looked at her straight in the eye and I said, "That's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life." So I would have to say, in my early childhood, it would be absolutely the Beatles influenced me, the Beatle music. Well, there's so many ways. I'm inspired by so many different things for writing music. It's like I think I just love playing guitar so much that I feel the need to write, write something, tell a story within the melody, and or it could be a couple of words in a sentence in a conversation that I'm having with Franny. Could be just watching her doing her daily walks when we're out and about. It could be anything. I'm inspired by so many things. Watching a movie, I might see a scene and this whole little story goes off in my head, and then I'm working on the melody and I'm just inspired of the song becoming something. And but there's a lot. There's so many. It's so hard to say for me. But I believe it's just, I just love playing guitar so much that I just keep wanting to do it more and more and more. That's kind of hard to say. It depends on the song. If there is a message in the song, it's like I think everybody likes to send that message out in a song. I'm currently working on a song about depression and anxiety. You know, my wife, Franny, she's a nurse. It's hard for them not to bring their work home with them. So I hear a lot about it, as she's a strong advocate for anxiety and depression and stuff. So I've been actually working on something like this because I find myself more as a story inside a song. I get this little movie going on in my head, and then I'll try to send it out like that. So I think sometimes in my songs there might not be as much of a message as there is a story. But I think love is the message. Like John Lennon said, it's all about love. Jim, as you well know, probably my biggest frustration is technology. You know, I go out, I buy these interfaces, these microphones, this and that, all these adapters, and I'm clueless how to use this. So that frustrates me. Thank God there's people like you who can do all of this here stuff. I wish I could do that, but for some reason, I just can't grasp it. It's probably because I never had to do that before in my career as a musician. I've always, been the guy up there saying, okay, I want a little bit more of this in the mains, a little bit less of this in the monitors on this guitar. I want something else, and I've always had that, but there was always someone else doing it, and I just never learned how to do that. I got used to, at an early age in life, of just starving as a musician and going into a recording studio, high-end recording studios in Toronto, Canada, and with some renowned engineers, and all I ever had to do on stage or in the studio or in rehearsal or anything was just play my guitar and sing. And everything else was always done for me. So I find now that it's so hard because the reality for musicians, if you want to get out there, and I'm talking about musicians that are unsigned, they don't have agents, they don't have none of this sort of stuff going on. They're just doing their own thing. And myself personally, I find it takes so much time to learn how to do this stuff when all I want to do is just play my guitar and write music and sing. So I find it really cuts into that part of my time, so I don't spend a lot of time on trying to learn. And when I do, well, I just get completely frustrated. Yeah, that's what frustrates me. Besides of someone interrupting you when you're trying to play. That frustrates me too. What can I say? I'd just like to say thanks so much, Jim, for having me on the Jim Lamb Roadshow, WPHO, Phoenix, and all the affiliates. You guys have been so great to me. Playing all my songs, that's one of the things that inspires me to keep going, that's for sure. But I really appreciate having me, Jim, and it means a world to me. And I'd just like to say thank you so much. Thank you.